Welcome to Background Noise Podcast, our third Background Bites episode, where we're still going through the Disney Renaissance. And on this episode, Disney was smart enough to realize that we didn't want another Rescuers movie. So after the second one, they decided to stop and realized how well The Little Mermaid did. And they gave us Beauty and the Beast, which many would say is one of the greatest Disney films of all time, myself included. Some would say that, and others who we don't speak of would not. So we're just going to dive right in there. First off, I just want to say that this film gave us one of the best YouTube videos of all time, with the meme video "Slow Down, Maurice," which, if you've not seen it, is amazing. It's only 20 seconds, but it's basically, to summarize, it's Gaston saying everyone knows that Belle's father's a lunatic. He was in here the other night raving, and so we cut to Maurice coming back with glow sticks, raving by himself. Gaston tells him to slow down, but he doesn't. He keeps going, and then gets thrown out.
I do also appreciate the meme video. When I was an egg, I ate 4 dozen lads. Oh no! Which is where they just recut that section of the song.
Nice.
I think I saw one where it's like, oh, okay, let's get it together. We're professionals, people.
Right, yes, come on, get it together.
I saw one where it was like, he said something like, oh, yes, let's kill the beast. And then I think Belle's father's like, wait, no. And then he just like gets thrown out. And then it's just like old MLG, like 360 no scope sounds like it makes no sense. I realize now. Wow. It makes no sense.
Shall we start off with a summary of the plot of this movie?
I think we've already told them all they need to know, really.
For the three people who have never seen Beauty and the Beast, who have somehow found this podcast but have never seen Beauty and the Beast, the plot of the movie is some just perfectly innocent, reasonable individual who happens to be a prince who's done nothing wrong with his life whatsoever, just a nice, upstanding guy, gets cursed out of nowhere by that evil enchantress lady for
like
no
11
reason. Yeah,
at 11
years old. That's actually canon. He's 11 years old and he gets cursed for not being nice enough. Like, okay, calm down, Miss Enchantress lady. Then we get one of the best opening songs of any Disney movie. I would say the third best opening song of any Disney movie, where we find out that Belle is a very odd girl because she likes to read, and everyone else in town is dumb as a sack of bricks. So, because they're singing this to her face as she's walking through the town.
Books!
She really is a funny girl, that Belle. And then we find out that Gaston wants to marry her not because she's smart, clever, interesting, or like a genuinely cool person. He wants to marry her because she's very pretty. The only thing that matters about women, of course, is their physical attractiveness.
Clearly, because Gaston says.
According to Gaston, and Gaston's always right.
Yes.
So he tries to marry her, doesn't work out. Throughout the movie, he tries to marry her in a few different ways. Her dad leaves to go sell an invention at the fair. He gets arrested by the Beast in this castle because he stole a flower. Or no, he doesn't steal a flower. That's in the remake. Excuse me. He gets arrested. He gets imprisoned just because he's in the castle in this one. I forgot. I'm merging the live action remake and the animated one together. Which is
they're becoming something new.
Yeah, let's not do that. He gets thrown in the dungeon. Belle comes to save him, trades her life for his, and then we start to develop the actual Beauty and the Beast plot kicks off, which is Belle learning that the Beast isn't such a terrible person and helping him to grow up into a better person, and also Beast learning to love Belle and growing into a better person because of that. And so that's the core of the movie. The core of the movie is them growing together. He saves her life from wolf attack. He gives her a library because, the thing that she loves more than anything else is reading. So obviously you give her a library. Mm-hmm. She teaches him how to eat food with a spoon. An adorable scene. And but at the same time, Maurice is the dad, is trying to find Belle because he thinks that she's still in danger. He tries to recruit the townsfolk to help. They think he's crazy. Then he goes off on his own. He's lost. Belle sees him in the enchanted mirror because Beast at this point loves her. So he gives her the enchanted mirror. She sees that her father's dying. He lets her go to save him. They return home, and then Gaston is still trying to get Belle to marry him. Doesn't work. She shows him the Beast to prove that her father isn't crazy, and then they go off to try to kill him. Kind of works. He's technically dead. And then Belle's like, no, but I love you. And he's like, I love you too, but I'm dead. And then he turns back into a human.
Verbatim, that's what he says.
Yeah, I love you too, but I'm dead. And then he's healed.
I'd love
and then
to
it's all
respond,
great.
However,
Because he learned how to love. And then cut to a perfect copy and paste cut scene from Cinderella. They actually use the exact same scene from Cinderella, the dance at the end of the movie, for the dance at the end of Beauty and the Beast. Because Disney does not waste anything.
No. Control C, Control V.
Control
that's
C, Control V. Yeah.
listen, they blew a third of the budget on the ballroom dance,
Mm-hmm.
and they had to save money somewhere.
That's fair.
Well, then again, I wouldn't say they blew. They didn't blow that budget.
Yeah, they didn't blow it.
Fantastic sequence.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I will definitely say, well, the best thing, of course, this movie gave us was Slow Down Maurice, like I already said. The second best thing this gave us was what I would probably say is the best romantic relationship with romantic leads of any Disney film. I would say, personally. I can't think of any other relationship that feels that I think is better, more natural. I mean, this film's barely, I don't think even 90 minutes long. It's like, might be 80, 85, something like that. But just within that short runtime, it still feels like it's plenty of time to give the relationship to naturally develop. Though we sort of got a similar kind of thing in Little Mermaid, where it's like they have the 3 days to do it. In this, well, at least in Little Mermaid, they met, and when they immediately saw each other the first time, they fell in love. And then they sort of forgot, and, Ariel wasn't who he thought she was and all that. There was all that drama. But in this, legitimately, when they meet for the first time, they don't have feelings for each other. Legitimately, when the Beast and Belle. So that's very real here. And yeah, so it definitely delivers on that. We're giving us a romance where neither of them like each other at first, but that slowly changes. Whether or not that change takes place over days, weeks, or even months, that's not really clear, because we do get the winter and all that. So not completely clear what that's the case. That's sort of up to the viewer to decide, it seemed like to me.
It's definitely implied that Maurice is looking for Belle for at least several days, if not several weeks.
Yeah.
Enough time for there to be a changing of seasons, which it's still a little bit of a fast developing relationship, but by modern standards, but much better, much more believable than any other Disney relationship.
Yes. Very natural.
Possibly
You can
one.
totally see why they find each other attractive.
Yeah.
And it's not, she doesn't think the Beast is hot. That's not what it is.
No.
She thinks, it's just because his heart and he's changing, and the inner beauty is something they really emphasize on in this movie.
Oh, he used to be a human. Now I can work with that.
That's right. That's what she's betting on. Like, hopefully he'll turn back. If not, I don't think this is going to work.
Well,
But Gaston doesn't sound so bad now.
It actually is interesting because inner beauty is actually the theme, because Beast, maybe he compliments her when they have the ball dance, but other than that, he's not interested in her because she's a pretty face. Gaston is interested in her because she is the most beautiful girl in town, not because of anything about Belle herself.
Because that means she's the best.
Right. She's the most beautiful girl in town, and that means she's the best. Yes, he
And
says to
Gaston
LeFou.
says it, then it is true.
Whereas
Gaston is a Chad.
yeah, well, something. Gaston is something. Whereas Beast loves her, grows to love her as a person, just like she grows to love him as a, like not I saw a pretty face, man, I gotta get that, I have to have that pretty face in my life for the rest of my life.
Right.
It's no, this is a human being, which is these two characters are probably the most fleshed out couple.
Yeah.
We'll get in other movies, one member of the couple is very fleshed out, and the other one is there to be the partner to the one that we care about.
Sure.
Mm.
The only other film I can think of that's even close would probably be maybe in the Disney canon, maybe be Tangled, maybe.
Yeah, that's fair. Although in that one, Rapunzel is an empty vessel of a person by design. Like Mother Gothel has intentionally left her an unformed person, so that, and then she grows up. So that does kind of work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair. Something I did notice, which I appreciated, was that Gaston, at first, he isn't a villain. He's just a prideful guy who just wants the best because he thinks he's the best. So he's just sort of this prideful jerk. And it's not really until like later on in the film, after multiple rejections from Belle and his jealousy, he thinks she likes the Beast and all that he lets his jealousy take over, and he really becomes the villain. But he doesn't just start out as the bad guy. He's just not a nice guy.
Wait, this is interesting. This is interesting because these are two archetypal male reactions, right, to female rejection, right?
Sure.
So Gaston is proud. He thinks he's the best, and then when he gets hit, he assumes that when he gets rejected, he assumes it means there's something wrong with the woman who rejected him, and he has to fix her. Basically, he has to figure out a way to convince her that she has to marry him because he can't accept the rejection, and he spirals down because of that. Beast thinks that he is a monster. He knows that he is a monster. He knows that he's not worthy. In his mind, I don't think he thinks he's worthy of love, right? And then he's rejected, but he's inspired to become better because of that rejection. Because she doesn't like him, he is inspired to grow to meet her expectations. Whereas Gaston is, I am already perfect, and spirals further down. Beast is, I am terrible, and climbs up, becoming better and better over the course of the movie.
Right. And you can even see just how much either of them even care about Belle as a person when it comes to, Gaston, when he talks to her, immediately, first time they interact, he throws her book in the mud and doesn't care. He just thinks, just very much physical for him. Whereas Beast actually cares about what she likes and all that. And his gift to her is the library. So, just little things like that. Show, effort.
Which one
effort's
of them
important.
Oh, go ahead.
No, just saying, effort's important in relationships, showing that you care and understanding them as a person. Seems if it works for the Beast, I'm sure it worked for other people too. So,
Beauty and Beast relationship goals. You heard it here first.
Yes.
However, which one between Gaston and the Beast? I will say there's one key difference that I think the Beast doesn't come up in. I mean, where are the antlers that he uses in all of his decorating? I mean,
sure. And I doubt Beast eats as many eggs.
Yeah, no, can't really get any eggs when the chickens have been turned into like forks and knives.
Yeah, there are plenty of wolves, so he could probably just eat raw wolf.
It's true. 5 dozen wolves, so he's finally the size of a bard.
When I was a pup, I ate 4 dozen wolves every morning to help me get large.
This dude is on a complete protein diet. He's a beast, literally.
And I want to see the Beauty and the Beast workout plan.
Gosh.
Oh no. Somebody get Joe Rogan on the phone.
You start out
this man now.
Oh, I guess. Oh, what do you have it? You start on the Gaston plan, and only once you've completed that can you get on the Beast plan. Beast mode.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
We're trying to get back more on topic. I don't know if you guys noticed this. Something I was watching some videos on it, and I found it was interesting. The use of colors of red and blue in particular. Blue in particular is used mainly as a sign of goodness and inner beauty, whereas red is more about self-love and pride and all of that. So with Gaston, that's obvious. With Belle, that's obvious. With Beast, he starts out with a red cape, and so he's still more focused on himself and being selfish. And it's as his relationship with Belle slowly develops that he starts wearing more blue attire. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
It does help that a lot of his early scenes are in darker places too. So
Yes,
it kinda helps him. That helps with his current his current emotional state as well, in addition to the use of colors.
Yeah.
And that brings me to another thing. Like, for some reason, whenever I think of this movie, in addition to just like how nice it looks and all that, I think of one particular scene where the Beast is talking with the Maestro, who is voiced by the one and only Tim Curry.
Oh, beautiful.
Yep, and that just brings me to kind of another thing that I really like about this one, is that it's probably got the most well-rounded ensemble of any kind of, probably out of the Renaissance. Like, I know there's probably going to be some contenders that we're going to come up with, but probably the most well-rounded ensemble of side characters, I would say, in a Renaissance film.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I loved the side characters in this movie. They're so good. Every single character in the castle is just a blast. One of my favorite Letterboxd reviews of this movie is somebody said, "You remember that scene where the treasure chest eats up that guy and then burps? I felt that."
Oh, God.
That spoke to me. But anyway, the castle I thought was beautifully animated. Every song was so freaking good. I'm trying to think of a favorite, because every single song I just thought worked very well and pushed the plot forward.
Yep.
Favorite, because if we got to choose a favorite song, I probably just need to go with Beauty and the Beast, just because of this whole sequence that went with it. It's so perfect. It is so perfect.
I gotta go with Be Our Guest. Sorry, Joe, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. I waited too long.
You're good. Be Our Guest is definitely my favorite, because
it's a great one. I love it.
The ensemble's great, and it's just so, a good word is vibrant. It's like this is the first time we see the castle. The castle's like the real one, and it's like in full swing, just so lively and colorful, and you got all these really well-designed characters, these well-designed pieces of furniture just bouncing around everywhere. It's very, very fun song, and I like it a lot.
Yep. I mean, every movie in this song is great. Every movie in this song is great. Every song every song in this movie is great. But as I said in the very first of our background bites, when it's done well, I love the villain songs. And so my problem with The Little Mermaid was that the villain song is cut in half. We don't have that problem here. So I love Gaston. I love the character. I love the song Gaston.
Great song.
It's
great song.
I do appreciate, because it is unique in the villain songs in that it is actually LeFou pumping up Gaston as opposed to the villain praising themselves, right? It is the other characters pumping up the villain to get him ready to do villain things.
Exactly. Yep. So that's sort of different, but I liked that. I guess I had one more thing I wanted to mention about Belle, but before I do that, I guess we have to touch on, did the main characters learn anything?
Yes. The answer is yes. Gaston didn't learn a darn thing.
No.
That's why he dies, maybe, sort of. I mean, he falls off of the edge of a cliff. But Belle learned to both Beauty and Beast learned how to see the beauty inside. Right?
Belle learned not to judge a book by its cover.
He
likes books.
Is that what that pun means? Oh man, that was bad. That was bad.
It was horrible.
I feel as though I need a dagger driven into my back just to feel something different now.
Yeah, I would prefer
Well, yes, we definitely had some learning. In fact, this is probably the most clear cut. Somebody learns something Disney story. Just, I mean,
Mhm.
that's the whole point of the movie. The beasts learn to the beasts learn to love, as cliched as it sounds. But yeah, and
Mhm.
again, book cover, no judge. Yeah,
Book cover, no judge. Yeah,
and
sounds good.
Mm.
Gaston almost learned. He almost learned that he was too good for all these womans in town, but he just had to go back for Belle. It really is the greatest Shakespearean level tragedy Disney's put out. It's such a shame.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, we've learned don't go back after your ex if she says things are done. Because Belle's
Mhm.
like, we're done, and he's still not over her. It's like, nope, just stop, just move on,
Yep.
and you won't fall off a cliff.
Go date one of the 3 other girls in town that are literally throwing themselves at your feet.
Exactly. Because if your ex is dating a beast, then it's probably a red flag. And you should move on.
You just can't compete with the beast, man.
That's our new hashtag. Can't compete with the beast.
Oh no.
Can't-
Please don't get that
no,
trending.
no, can't beat the beast.
Can't be.
Can't beat the beast. That doesn't need to
Oh.
be trending. However, we do need to get the hashtag Rescuers3 Arctic Adventure trending. Let's get that going.
No, no.
It was worth a shot.
The last thing I want to mention with Belle, which is one of the things I appreciate about her compared to the other Disney princesses, is it's very common in most, if not all, of the Renaissance films, especially, is you'll have the princess. It's very typical of them to rebel and run away from their fathers and all of that to do what they want to do. Whereas in this, we actually have Belle runs to her father to try and rescue him, and actually cares and is very selfless, and sacrifices her life and her freedom in service of saving her father. So I found that to be very honorable and appreciate that.
She does technically disobey him, right? She does technically disobey him, but it is to save him, which is
Technically, yeah.
Like
the only thing she really does wrong, technically, is she's just a bit too curious. But that's like everyone.
Yeah, right. That's literally every Disney character.
Right.
Sticking their nose what they're not supposed to.
Exactly.
So.
How would we get whimsy?
But I feel like that pretty much wraps up. Unless you guys had anything else you wanted to add. But
I mean, we could talk about Beauty and the Beast for an hour probably, but
it's true.
Yeah.
So
it's best to wrap up now before we get into more, or before I get into more Gaston posting things. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, this has been Background Bites. So thanks for listening. If you have been, and if not, just give up now, because this is as short as we're going to get. So tune in next week when we talk about Aladdin.
Woo!